Server. Okay, so it has started recording. Okay, good. So welcome formally to our first class, MA 108 differential equations. Uh, so as I have been talking to most of you before we started recording, before the formal lecture, uh, we will have 6 or 7 weeks of classes, and we are going to meet 4 hours per week. Okay, so 3 hours is slot 2, where I will be lecturing to all of you together, roughly 700 students. This is D1 and D2, divisions 1 and 2. And then there will be 2 more hours for me, but that is 1 hour for each of you. For D1, I will have a 1 hour session, and for D2, I will have another 1 hour session where there will be no lecturing, but based on the lectures that we completed, if you have, if you want to discuss with me, I will be available. Okay. So all these timings are there in the tutorial booklet, instruction booklet, which is already uploaded on your Moodle page for the course. Okay, that is one thing. And one or two more important things. I think it's already there in the slides. So I will repeat it at that time. And as I told you, Zoom, I am new. Last two courses I taught on MS Teams, but it should be more or less similar. Anyway, with your help, it should be okay. So everything is getting recorded. I should start sharing the screen so that I can access my Beamer slides. And as I told you, some newcomers must be there. Chat session is your world. Once the lecturing part starts, I may not look at the chats. If somebody has a question in the chat, somebody else can answer that. Okay. And if you have a question to me, feel free to unmute. And so to start with, I am not muting all. You please mute yourself and unmute and ask me. Okay. So if I can answer very quickly, I will answer. If it is going to take time, I will apologize and I will answer at the end of the lecture. So I'm planning to lecture for 45 minutes or 50 minutes, then stop, and we will have 5 or 10 minutes. At that time, I will answer. And if still not possible, then I will answer your questions in the buffer session that we have. You can also ask your questions on Moodle where I will answer. I will try to answer. Okay. So let me start sharing the screen. And there are various things here, desktop, whiteboard. I can see my PDF file. So let me share that. And one of you quickly confirm that you can see this once again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Very good.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Sir.
Thank you. So I have made it full screen, so you can see that. And okay, all right. So good. Okay, so welcome back. And welcome once again. This is the lecture 1. Our course is MA 108. ODE, all of you know, stands for Ordinary Differential Equations. Ordinary Differential Equations. Today, what we are going to do is not really starting the course. Okay, so what I will do is, of course, you have seen ODEs, in other courses and maybe even before coming to IIT. We will recall some of the examples that you would have naturally seen in physics or engineering or whatever. These are examples which I am not very comfortable with, but you must be comfortable with. But this is just to introduce, some of these things. From next lecture, we will come really to the course and do the mathematics part of it properly. Okay. So the only time some real world thing will be coming will be today. Ideally, we should have had more real world things, but I don't have experience with those things. So my teaching those things wouldn't be very good. So I will not stress on such things. It will be a proper mathematics course, but it will help you in your other courses, of course, because you will have your physical intuition and engineering intuition from your other courses. And the math part of it, you will slightly rigorously, not very, very rigorously, but somewhat rigorously, you will learn in this course. So I will try to, put the key words of every lecture here itself. So you are going to learn what is called the order of a differential equation from these examples. And you are also going to learn this word linear. And once you have the word linear, you have its opposite also, non-linear. Okay. These two words also you're going to learn. These are all these are all the things that will be there in today's lecture. You will have 4 or 5 examples which you already know and that I will quickly recall. But as I told you, these are physical examples and the physical intuition. I am not, some mathematicians are very comfortable, but I am not one of them. But it doesn't matter to this course. Okay. These are just to introduce some basic examples. So let's start and let me recall some of the, since this is lecture 1, let me recall some of the things that I already told you. So welcome to the first lecture. We will study the topic of topic of uh, ordinary differential equations. So ODE, roughly in the next 7 weeks or so. As you already know, or I will tell you that it's a very, very important area of mathematics with extremely useful applications in the real world. Okay, so in all your engineering courses, in your physics course, in many other courses, uh, your being comfortable with this topic is going to be very, very important. Most of you will have Kreyszig, and it's a good book for this course. There are a few more references. It's there in the instruction booklet, which is already there on Moodle. I uploaded it yesterday night. Okay. Attendance in the lectures and tutorials usually we say is compulsory. That's the institute policy. But I have changed the word compulsory to strongly encouraged because as we were saying, things are not so easy for all of us. I know that most of us have, either we are suffering on our own or our close family members, relatives, friends, all of them are going through very, very difficult times. So I can understand, if one day or another day, if you can't come, but try to come. Yeah, try to come as much as possible. And what will happen is these lectures are recorded. Uh, where do I see that I'm recording this? Can I confirm it's being recorded?
We are
Can you
able
see
to see that.
Yes, on the top you can see that.
top left corner?
Okay, so what has happened is because I'm sharing the window, I am on some other place, so I can't see that, but you can see, so that's fine. Okay, so it's going to be recorded and this will also be uploaded in the department YouTube channel. Okay, so you will have easy access to the lectures. So if you cannot attend a particular lecture, please make sure that at the earliest you are attending the video lecture. And of course, the slides are uploaded on Moodle. So what exactly we have covered, you will have. But one thing, in my own style, see, every teacher has a style. And in my own style, as you will see, my Beamer slides will not have so much material. They will be, the crucial points on my slides, but the rest I will be doing the talking. Okay. So I do talk. Most of it will be, my verbally telling you, my talking. So just the slides may not be enough. So if you're not able to attend the lectures, please make sure you see the video at least once. Maybe, you can put 1.5x or something so that you see it fast. Okay, so attendance is strongly encouraged. And this is what we have been talking about just before we started the formal lecture. I do know that everyone is having a tough time due to COVID-19. And I don't know how much I can help you sitting here, but do feel free to reach out to me if you are particularly affected. And I will try to help as possibly as I can. It could be just, a word of consolation or whatever. But if you feel like you should tell me something, feel free. Okay. So we are all in it together in this course and in this fight against this disease. Okay. So we are going to meet 4 times a week. This I already told you. So 3 lecture hours, and this is slot 2, and this is common class, all 700 of you together, D1 and D2. And slot 2 means what? Slot 2 means Monday 9:30, Tuesday 10:30, and no class on Wednesday, Thursday 11:30. And 1 extra hour with me for discussions for D1 in slot 9B I think 9B is Thursday afternoon, maybe 3:30. I forget. Anyway, you know your slot 9B. And one for D2, and that is slot 10A. This is Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay. So then you will have a tutorial hour with your course associate. We are still finalizing course associates. And the first tutorial will be not this week, but the next week. And that will be with your course associate. We will finalize it in next 2 days or something, and you will have all the information on Moodle. Okay. So as I said, do try to pay attention from the very start. All of us have a lot of difficulties, but still try to pay attention from the very start. 7 weeks will go in a jiffy in no time. Okay, so it's not easy in my experience for students to do catching up later. So it's important that you pay attention, ask, clear your doubts with me, with other students, with your course associate, with your TA. Okay, all these things you should do. So best wishes for the course, and let's start. Okay, so we are starting the course. So ordinary differential equations, ODE, and this is our course MA 108. Let's analyze all these words. So the word differential is there. This word comes where? This word comes in calculus, right? Derivative, differential meaning derivative, and this comes in calculus. So you have to be comfortable with, okay. So this is a mistake that I have made. MA 105 is what we used to call our calculus course. Now I understand that that is split into two courses. So I guess the names were 109 and 111. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this is the first mistake of my slide. I will change this to MA 109 and MA. Actually, 109 is enough because we are going to deal only with, no, even 111 is required because sometimes, two variable thing will come. Okay. So be comfortable with 109 and 111. That's important. Important tools will come from your previous course, linear algebra. You will soon see. We will use linear algebra tools in solving differential equations. So be comfortable with linear algebra as well. And the word ordinary is there. So you can ask, what about non-ordinary differential equations? Non-ordinary is just a word that I am cooking up. It's not a technical term. The technical term is partial differential equations. And that some of you will see in your future course, MA 207. I don't think all the departments will take this course. So some of you will see, some of you will not see. Okay, that is called PDE, partial differential equations. So there will be more variables and they will be, del f by del x and del f by del y and maybe more variables. So let's start. So let y of x denote a function in the variable x. So y of x equal to sin x, y of x equal to, whatever. F of x, I'm calling y of x, okay? An ordinary differential equation is, after all, an equation. That means an equality sign is there, containing one or more derivatives of an unknown function y. So you have this function y, y of x, and you may have y prime, y double prime, y power n, nth derivative, all these things, and they will all be put together in an equation. That's an ordinary differential equation. Why ordinary? Because I have y of x and I have only del y by del x, I mean dy by dx. There are not more variables. It's all in one variable. That's why it's ordinary. So not that the equation may contain y itself, which is the zeroth derivative, right? If you don't take derivative, that's a function itself. And also non-functions of x, that also can be there. And including constants, that's also a function of x, constant function. And so to summarize, an ODE is a relation between the derivatives y, y1, what is the meaning of y1? y1 meaning dy by dx. And yn is dny by dxn, nth derivative, and functions of x, and all these are put together. So some relationship between x, y, y1, etc., yn for some n, some finite n, natural number, and all this put together equal to 0. Okay, so that's an equation. That's an ordinary differential equations. They will occur naturally in physics, engineering, in the real world. So we might sometimes say they occur in nature. Okay, you would have already seen a few examples in other courses. Velocity is a derivative. Acceleration is also a derivative. It's a second derivative. So all, and slope of a curve, right? The slope of the tangent, that's a derivative. The tangent is a derivative, and all these things naturally will give rise to differential equations. We will soon recall some of these examples, uh, and we will see. Okay, these are examples that you have already seen. We are putting it in this framework. Okay, so let us just so one slide philosophy. There's no mathematics. It's a little bit of philosophy. Given an equation, what would you like to do? Suppose it's not a differential equation. It's just an equation: x plus y equal to 0 and 2x minus y equal to 0. These are the kind of equations that you have seen in other courses. What would you like to do? You want to quickly say a word? I mean, what comes to your mind? It's not a maths question.
Solve.
Yeah,
Separate it.
exactly. Yeah, solve it, right? That's what you would like to do. At least, what would you like to say? Suppose you can't solve. Again, I'm playing with plain English. Okay, it's not a rigorous question. It's not a maths question.
Approximate.
Try to solve it.
Approximate.
We can try solution.
Approximate, try to solve it. Yeah. So one answer could have been, can you get an approximate solution where, you might use your computer, you might do some simulation, whatever. That, I can't teach because I don't really know those things. Okay. So that you will see in your engineering classes. But I'm just even, basically I'm saying try to solve it. So you just finished a course trying to solve a linear system of equations. This was, dealing with matrices, linear algebra. So now we want to attempt solving differential equations. So we will, develop a lot of methods. There will be some theory. There will be linear algebra coming into that theory, etc. Okay. So that's what we will do. So certain natural questions you can ask. First question, what is a solution, right? In order to solve it, what do you mean by a solution? So what do you mean by a solution? A solution will be, actually getting a solution will be, so you have an equation containing x, y prime, let us say y double prime. A solution will be you get a function y, which when you plug it in, right, you have a differentiable function y. And if your differential equation is twice differentiable, then your function should be twice differentiable. So that makes sense. So you don't have to say it is twice differentiable. That is understood because you have to take twice derivative in order to plug it in. Okay, then you plug it in, you compute y prime, you compute y double prime, you plug it in, and then it should satisfy the equation. So that is the solution. And then there's a natural question. No, I'm giving you an arbit equation, and does it have a solution? They may be, it could be unsolvable. No, we don't know. We don't know. So of course you should ask. This is where theory will come in. Certain times theory will tell you that of course it has a solution. Whether you can solve it or not is another question. But theory will say that there exists a solution. We will see such things from tomorrow onwards, in the next lecture onwards. So this is a natural question. You will agree with me. You should know what a solution is, which we already know. And does an equation always have a solution? Then, of course, naturally, you can ask, suppose it has a solution. How many solutions does that equation have? So that's also a good question, important question. And of course, theory tells you in some situations, look, there is no solution. Then, of course, you don't have to worry. I mean, you don't have to worry in the sense there is no solution. So what can you do? But suppose theory tells you there is a solution and maybe, there are two linearly independent solutions or something like that, basically there are two solutions or something like that. Then, I mean, there is a solution, but can these solutions be expressed in a nice form? Can you say, look, the solution is y equal to sine x or y equal to e power x? This kind of, nicely can you express it? That's another question. So that also, we need to think about. If not, sometimes we know solutions are there, but there is no nice closed form expression. How to get a feel for the solution? Because in nature, you cannot say, look, there is a solution, but I don't have a good expression for it. That may be the end of it for me, but that may not be the end of it for you because you are from engineering. So you should have a feel for it, how the solution will look like roughly, even if you don't have a formula or identity for the solution. So these are all important questions in this course, some of which I can teach, some of which I cannot. Okay. And how much can we proceed in a systematic manner to attempt all these questions? This is what we are going to do. So we will start with very basic examples, and we will, get some intuition. We will build some theory. Some of the theory we will actually rigorously prove, because after all, we are in a mathematics course. Some of the theory, we will give the theory and we'll say that proof may be beyond us, or we will not stress the proof. Okay, there will be a mixture of various things. So differential equations is a very, very applied topic. It has hundreds of thousands of applications in the real world. But it's also, part of mathematics. So we will have a mix of all these things. This is what we will do. So how do we rate the difficulty of a differential equation? This question also we will look at. Okay, so rating the difficulty, I'm going to introduce these words, which I said at the very first slide. In the title slide, there is what is called order of a differential equations, order, O-R-D-E-R, and there is also this concept of linear or non-linear. You might know these things already. Let's quickly recall. So there is this word order. So what is an order? It's a number. You can say that the differential equation is of order 1, of order 2, of order n. Okay, first order, second order, of order 1000. Okay, let's see what order is. There is also a word linear or non-linear. Non-linear is the opposite of linear. So whatever linear means, the definition of non-linear is something which is not linear. I think those things are clear. So let's quickly introduce order. Order is, so a differential equation is an equation consisting of y prime, higher derivatives possibly, and also functions of x. So you look at, so there is dy by dx, d square y by dx square, etc. You look at the highest derivative coming in the equation. Okay, and look at that degree. So if there is d 1000 y by dx 1000 and no derivative of order higher than 1000, then the order is 1000. Okay, so order is exactly that. It's the degree of the highest derivative. And linear, so a differential equation will be like this, and the question is, this expression, is it linear in your linear algebra language, right? You know a linear, what is the meaning of linear? If you replace the variable y with y1 plus y2, expression will also be f of y1 plus f of y2. If you scalar multiply, the scalar comes out. Okay, so it's linear. If it's linear function, you think of y prime, etc., all those as independent variables for the time being. And there's a better definition in the very next line, so you can even forget this, and it should be linear in each of these variables. There's a better way of saying this, which is that a linear ordinary differential equation of order n. So I'm combining linear and order n. It will be of this form: a function of x times the nth derivative. So there is no higher derivative than n. So it's a function of x times nth derivative plus a function of x times the n minus first derivative dot 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 function of x times y, that is a zeroth derivative, equal to a function of x. There is no y or derivatives here. So if you take this to this side, this whole expression would have been f of x dot 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 equal to 0. Okay, so it will be of this form. And this is linear, because if you replace any of this thing with some of those two things, that is split up into two. It's linear in each of these things. These are all functions of x, and it is of order n because this term, this function is not constant function 0. If it is constant function 0, then this part is not there. So its order is n minus 1 or less, depending on whether this is 0 or not. Okay, I hope it's clear. Let's do some examples quickly. Some examples which you have already seen. I will go a little bit fast. These are standard examples, and anyway, I have nothing more to offer because I don't think my physical or real world intuition is I mean, it's not good at all. So there's nothing that I can say more than what you already know. But The point of doing this is I will get differential equations in each of these slides, and let us quickly check whether we have understood order and linear or non-linear. Sometimes there may be a background noise. So right now I see that a helicopter is flying. How bad it is? Is it too disturbing, or still, you know, my voice is clear?
It's clear,
No,
sir.
sir, your voice is clear.
Clear, no? So good. So a falling object, standard thing. So a body of mass m is falling. The only force acting as, okay, there is one more force coming. So it's falling under the force of gravity. I think, you know, discussions are happening well. So I was a bit wary of this, how nicely I can talk to you. But up to now, you know, your answers were good for me. So let me ask you, like in the real class, you know, I would talk much less than the students. Okay, I always ask them to speak. I thought online it will not be possible, but I think it's okay. So one or two can, you know, just for all of you, you know, one or two representative people can talk. So a body of mass falling under force of gravity. Other than gravity, is there any other force acting?
Air
Air
resistance.
Air resistance.
Drag force.
And that naturally
Drag.
leads to a differential equation. And that's what I have copy pasted to this slide. These are not things that I really follow. Okay, so there is a drag force due to air resistance. And you already know, right? It is proportional to V square. What is V?
Velocity.
Velocity. And is there a constant here? Is there a famous constant that you know here which is coming, which is my next line? Can you tell me? Is air resistance.
6 pi r eta.
Yeah, so is there a word? Is there a word? Is there a famous word?
Viscosity.
Constant.
Viscosity constant.
Is it called the drag coefficient or viscosity constant?
Drag
There's
coefficient.
something called the drag coefficient, right?
I think it's called
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Drag
It's just a term. I copied it from somewhere where it was called drag coefficient. Anyway, so this C is a constant, and this constant is not dimensionless. It has a dimension, but in physics, typically you make things dimensionless, right? So these are not important for us. Okay, I just want a differential equation. I want to ask you what is its order? Is it linear, non-linear? But since you are nicely, you know, discussing, I am asking you. Otherwise, I would not have asked you. Okay, so C is a constant. What kind of a constant? It is density times the reference area, and up to a dimensionless constant. I think this dimensionless constant is called the drag coefficient. Maybe, you know, half of it or twice it or something. Yeah, twice. But anyway, this will lead to a differential equation. So m times dv by dt this is the fall, and the drag coefficient, the drag is applied in the opposite direction. So mg minus cv square. You would have seen such a differential equation already in some place. Is that true? Right, this will be the equation governing this, no? Mass times dv by dt is mass times g is acceleration due to gravity, and minus whatever this constant does times v square. This is in the opposite direction. Can you, one of you, just confirm?
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
may-
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the physics is not relevant for me right now. My question is, this is a differential equation, and what is its order?
One.
One.
Because
One.
dv by dt you can see, v you can see, but you cannot see d square y by v by dt square or any such thing. So order is one. And what would be my next question? So it's a first order. My next question would be, is it linear or non-linear? What would be?
Linear.
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 Okay, so I have got both answers. If I am comfortable later with polling, maybe I would have taken a poll. Can I try it now? I think I'm
Non-linear.
Non-linear.
Okay.
Non-linear.
Non-linear.
The square term is there.
Yeah, so square term is there. See, v square is there.
Sir, can I ask you
Non-linear. Okay, so it is non-linear. NL meaning non-linear. Okay, so let's do the next example. Radioactive decay. Is there a question?
Sir, I had one doubt.
Yeah, quickly.
If
Yeah.
I write velocity equal to dx by dt, then again it will change, no?
Then yeah, so that's something that I should have said. We will write a differential equation in a particular form, and here I am considering it v as a function of t. Okay, I'm not doing v as dx by dt. If so, good question. So these questions are in the expression that is given to you, only then I can ask. Okay. Suppose you reformulate this differential equation in another way, that would be another question. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. So in this form where, you know, the function y is v and my x was t. Okay. Then I asked you this question. You have asked a good question. Suppose I reformulate it some other way, that will be another question, and it will have its own order. And then we will ask this question again. Okay. Good. Very good that you asked. So radioactive decay, there's a famous equation here. So you know that the rate at which it decay is proportional to the amount present. And if y of t is the amount present at time t, then it is proportional to that, which means there's a constant and it is proportional to that. So the equation looks simpler than the earlier equation. And k is a physical constant whose value is found by experiments. And minus k is called what? What is the standard term?
Rate constant.
Rate constant?
Decay constant.
Decay constant.
One of these things, I don't know. So it's called the decay constant. Okay. But let's come to our question, which is much easier than the physics here. What is the order?
One.
That is linear or non-linear?
Linear.
Excellent. Okay. Let's do the next example, electrical circuits. So here there are so many words which I have no idea about, but I have just put all the correct words here by looking at some reference. So RLC circuit, what is RLC?
Resistance.
Inductance,
Inductance.
Capacitance. And C is?
Capacitor.
Capacitance.
Capacitance.
So R is resistance, C is capacitance, L is inductance.
Inductance.
Why L?
Because the symbol in physics for inductance is L.
But why is that? Do you know? So
I is current, sir. I is already current, so they use it.
I is already taken. Maybe is that the reason? So I could have checked in Google. I did not. So could be that is the reason. Only now I thought about it. So I taught this course last time in 2016. So that is 5 years ago. I must have asked these questions to my students at that time. They would have given some of the nice answers, but you know, 5 years. So I'm asking you afresh. Okay. So RLC circuit, resistance of the resistor is measured. What is the unit?
It was in the honor of some scientist or engineer. L.
I don't know for sure, so I can't say yes or no, because I can't think of anyone whose name is starting with L in this.
Lens or lens.
Henry Lenz.
Say that again.
Lenz's law. It comes from Lenz's law.
Okay, could be. So if you are sure, you can tell in the chats to others. I am sure. Otherwise, you know, let us Google later. Okay. So resistance of the resistor. This is measured in what is the unit?
Ohm.
And this is just to, you know, have a discussion. Okay. None of this is important for me. Inductance of the inductor is measured in?
Henry.
Okay. And capacitance?
Faraday.
Faraday's.
Farad or Farad? I don't know. Faraday. So Farad maybe. Farads. Okay. And I noticed yesterday, I double checked on Google, people are writing H and O and F in small letters typically. Is that correct, or should I make it capital letter?
Small letters.
H will be capital.
It will be
Yes, it should be capital because it's name.
It is a name.
But it is unit here, so it should be
Here
small.
it's used as a unit, so it is a
Unit, and by what happens in mathematics also, this is physics. In mathematics also, when something becomes so famous, we decapitalize. So that is an honor actually, you know, in mathematics. So maybe here also, I did see that a lot of places it is small letters. So I have kept small letters. Okay. And then these are all wired and connected to an electromotive force. I don't know these things, but you know, so I have put it here. And this is volts. And there is a diagram like this, which you know. And QT coulombs is the total charge in the capacitor. So why all these things? Yeah. So inductance is, no, this is the current, no? and
Yes,
it is dq by dt, and this is the current. As one of you told you, I is taken for current, and that is why probably L is coming here. So that is also explained here. And then you have this voltage law, Kirchhoff, and then you have an equation. This is a very famous equation, no? All of you have seen this, right?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have seen this before coming to IIT, right? You must have seen this in
Yes,
plus
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
In JEE
What
paper.
I'm-
Yes,
so
sir.
that differential equations is a topic which you already knew in plus 2,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
in your 12th or 11th maybe.
Yes, sir.
There is such a thing. And you know, like in the previous question, I'm not asking you right here. I have made this change. Earlier, one of you asked me, why do you put dv by dt and not d square x by dt square? That was just to ask that question. So here, you know, instead of putting it here, I have made that dq by dt. I have made this d square q by dt square, and plus r dq by dt plus 1 by c times q is vt. And it's a differential equation. What is its order?
2.
2.
Two.
Or non-linear?
It's linear. Linear.
Because
Without knowing V of
you
t,
have
we
to
can't
look
say.
at q, you have to look at dq by dt, you have to look at d square q by dt square. All these are coming linearly. There is no non-linear term.
Sir, but
So this
without
is
knowing V
linear.
of t, we can't say.
V of t can be anything. V of t can be a non-linear function in t. Doesn't matter. Okay, so that's a good question. This is one point that I should express. So V of t can be t square. V of t can be sine t. Doesn't matter. Okay, still it's linear. So whether it is linear or non-linear is regardless of how Vt looks. Is that point clear now? We are looking at the variable and its derivatives as variables, and it should be linear in all this. So the easiest thing is to go to this second definition that I have given you. This definition. Look, write it in this form. Write it in this form. So we had d square q by dt square with coefficient L, dq by dt with some coefficient I already forgot, and q with a coefficient 1 by c, maybe whatever it was, equal to vt. What vt is not specified. But here, whatever dx is, whatever anx is, whatever these coefficient functions are, including dx, I don't care. Okay, this is already linear. I hope it is clear. Linear means of this form. Dx and all these functions aix can be non-linear terms. It can be very complicated functions. It doesn't matter. It's linear because y is linear, y prime is linear. All these things are not coming with a square or a non-linear term. See, if there was a sine y or if there was a y square, then it is non-linear. So this was non-linear because there was v square. This was non-linear because of v square term. And this is linear because dy by dt and y are not coming with a square or some other complicated function. And now coming back to this, all of you agree this is linear because it doesn't matter what vt is. We have written it in the form a2x, which is constant function L, d square q by dt square, plus a1x dq by dt plus a2x q equal to b of x. B of x is v of t. Doesn't matter what b of x is. This is linear. And what is the order? You already told me, I think. What is the order?
2.
Just 2.
So it's second order ODE, and it is linear differential equation. All these are ODEs because there's only one derivative. There's only one variable. The t is the only variable. There's no t1 and t2. That is partial differential equations. Okay, so this is linear. And oscillating pendulum, another famous example from your plus 2 maybe. So consider an oscillating pendulum of length L, theta is the angle it makes with a vertical direction. So you draw this kind of a picture. M is the mass, so the mg is the force in this direction because of acceleration due to gravity. So because this angle is theta, this angle here is also theta. So this will be mg cos theta. This component will be mg sin theta. And then you have a standard derivation, right? Maybe you have many derivations of the motion of a simple pendulum, right? You get a differential equations. Have you seen more than one derivation or only one derivation?
More than one.
What are the standard terms? Can you just quickly recall? How do you derive? Are there terms for it? One particular derivation has one name, another derivation has another name. I looked at Wikipedia yesterday and I saw subsections with different names. Have you also seen it like that in your college, in your school? Okay,
Not
what is
via
the
names,
derivation?
means just we know how to solve.
Yeah, so how do you do that?
Equating forces where means where there is no acceleration, then forces must be zero, and finding other means acceleration in the direction where perpendicular to the tension.
Okay, okay. That is one method. And another way of deriving, do you know?
Energy method, torque method.
equal to
Or-
Okay. So at least 2 or 3 methods you know, right? Anyway, so let us do the differential equation. Finally, do you get this? Do you
Yes, sir.
get this, or do you write d square theta by dt square plus g by L theta equal to 0? Which one have you seen?
When theta is small, we write sin theta.
Theta
Theta instead of
approximately.
sin theta.
But you have, but your initial derivation was this only, no?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So one of the methods that one of you told is using torque, and somebody else said some other method also. So there may be many ways of deriving it, but finally this is the differential equation. Okay, let's ask our question: is it linear or non-linear?
Non-linear.
Non-linear. Suppose you made it for small theta g by L theta equal to 0. Then is it linear or non-linear?
Yes, sir.
Linear.
Then linear.
So coming back to this equation, what is the order?
2.
2.
2.
So it is ODE of second order and it is non-linear. Okay. So I think you understood both order and linear or non-linear. One more example, radioactive substance. Okay. So all my examples are over. This is actually solving one differential equation. Again, something that you already know, but just to, we started at 9:30, right? The class is 9:30 to 10:25. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Or 10:30 or 10:25. So right now time is 10:21. So ideally I should have stopped here and opened up discussion, but we anyway discussed throughout the lecture. Therefore, I will just go ahead and finish my slides. Okay. So radioactive substance, say 1 gram, find the amount present at any later time. Of course, you know these things. The relevant ODE is dy by dt is ky, and you know the solution for this, no? What is the solution for this equation?
Y equals to E power KT.
Exponential function, right? So right now initial amount is given, and that means y at time 0 is 1. You know that y equal to constant times exponential kt is the solution. How do you know this is a solution? Because in this course right now we don't have methods. We are only starting tomorrow. Okay, so right now we know that this is a solution because I'm giving you the solution and you inspect, you substitute it because you already had 109, so you can take derivative. Of course, you know how to solve this because you have done it in 12. You will do dy by y equal to k dt and then you will integrate. But right now we don't know. We have forgotten whatever we know. Okay. So right now the solution is by inspection. So you get the solution for an arbitrary constant, but you should be able to say what this constant is, right? How do you do that? You plug in the initial condition. Plug in the initial condition. Y at 0 is 1. So y means y of t. So y at 0 is 1. So that means C equal to 1. So this is the solution. Initial condition determines C equal to 1. So you have solved it. So the answer is y equal to e power kt. And I'm introducing a word. Yeah, so the point of this example was to introduce this definition via an example. So have you got an idea what do I mean by a particular solution?
A condition is given.
Yes.
For a particular.
Satisfy the boundary conditions.
Correct. So you have a general solution. So I'm introducing two words here. This is called the general solution. Okay. But this is not a just a differential equation problem. It is what is called a boundary value problem. A boundary value is also given, and you substitute that and find in the general solution, you evaluate the constant. What you get is called a particular solution. So I hope the definitions are clear. I haven't written definition, general solution, definition, particular solution. Yeah.
If we think that the k is the decay constant, then I think we should keep minus k.
Could be. It could be minus k. Yeah. So physics might tell you, put a minus sign. But right now, I came to just a mathematics thing. Yeah, you are right. So put a minus k here and put a minus k here. Okay. So maybe I will change it. Maybe I will not change it. It's okay, no? Because I'm not saying k is decay constant here. So minus k will be the decay constant. Okay. But you are right. Put a minus to be more correct. So that k becomes a decay constant. Definitions are clear. What is a general solution? What is a particular solution? I don't have to define it, no? It's clear from this example.
Yes.
Okay. So final example, and this is my last slide today. Find the curve through the point 1, 1 in the xy plane in R2, having at each of its points, the slope should be minus y by x. So this is a particular question. How do you solve this problem? So slope is given, and only thing that you need to know is slope is given by a derivative, right? So only thing that you need to know is that. So the relevant ODE is, so I may have notations dy by x, dx, or y1 or y prime. All these mean the same thing, first derivative. Okay. So dy by dx at each point as x varies, dy by dx is given by minus y by x is what is given to you. So therefore you have got a differential equation. What is the order of this differential equation?
2, 1.
1. And is it linear or non-linear?
Linear.
Correct. Because there is y and there is y1. There is no y1 square or sine y1 or any such thing. So you can solve this. What is the solution?
xy equal to 1. xy equal to 1.
xy
equal to 1.
So by inspection, you can check y equal to c by x is a general solution. C by x, where c is any constant, will satisfy this. So that is xy equal to c. So that's a family of hyperbolas as c varies. And the initial condition given us y at 1 is 1. Why is this the initial condition? Where do I see this in the question?
It passes through 1, 1. So when we put 1, it should give us 1.
Absolutely. So it passes through 1, 1 as the point given to you. So differential equation modeling, you have converted it into y at 1 is 1, because y of x is your curve. At 1, the answer is 1. So y of 1 is 1. You plug that in here. Y of 1 equal to 1. So c equal to 1. So this is how some of you answered here itself. The answer is xy equal to 1. That is by doing this also, right? Okay, very good. So this is my last slide. So hence the general solution is y equal to c by x, and the particular solution is y equal to 1 by x, and this is the last slide. So let me stop sharing the screen. And what do you see now? Do you see my video?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you can see me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I can also see whoever is speaking. Maybe you are not on your video, so I see your name or roll number or whatever. Good. So I think the class time, it's 10:27, so I exceeded by 2 minutes. And your next class starts at 10:30, or you have a free hour?
We have
Free hour.
You have a free hour or you have a class?
Class 1 hour later.
Okay. So which means I'm also free if you have anything to discuss with me, but I should stop recording. So please remind me this also if I forget, because now whatever we have, or did I already stop recording?
No, sir.
But where do I see this? Okay, pause or stop recording. Pause button must be the first and stop recording must be. You can also see all this control panel, or only I can see?
So only you can see.
Okay. So there is what is called stop recording, and let me stop. Okay. So stop cloud recording, stop recording.